Hello, fellow time travelers. I'm Tony Whitt with the Doctor Who Target Book Club podcast, the podcast in which we undertake the insert adjective here task of discussing in story order all of the Doctor Who novelizations. I'm joined by
Dalton Hughes
and by
Alison Fitz-Seyfried,
and we record our episodes twice a month. You are listening to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. Enjoy your travels.
Welcome back to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. I am Larry Van Mersbergen, your host, and I've been collecting Doctor Who since 1981. In 1985, I had this idea. I was going to start a Doctor Who store specifically geared to Doctor Who fans in the Chicago area, where I would visit every fan club in the area and offer what I could get a hold of. And I got a hold of a lot of imports from other countries, including England and Ireland and things of that nature. I established some pen pals, since there was no such thing as social media or cell phones back then. And I decided to call the business Bundles from Britain. And a few years ago, 35 years later, I picked up a book called Red, White, and Who, The Story of Doctor Who in America. And lo and behold, Bundles from Britain is on page 384. And I am proud to be part of the history of Doctor Who in America. Please come say hello and be a part of our audience at Chicago TARDIS, the largest Doctor Who event in the Midwest, now in its 20th year. Thanksgiving weekend at the Westin Hotel in Lombard. You can find out more at chicagotardis.com. And I'm excited to announce that we will be doing a live show of the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast sometime that weekend. When the dates are set and the time is set on the program, I will announce it here on also our Facebook, Twitter, and website. We would love to hear your collection story live at Chicago TARDIS. Bring in your favorite collectible to talk about, and we'll make the show about our listeners and our local fans. So be sure to visit us. In our 20th year, we have on the guest list Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor, Tosin Cole, who plays Ryan Sinclair. Also, Katie Manning, who played Jo Grant, as well as John Levine, the wonderful Sergeant Benton. Richard Franklin, who played Captain Yates. We have Louise Jameson, who played Leela, and John Leeson, the wonderful voice of K9. And everyone's favorite companion, Fraser Hines, who played Jamie McCrimmon. I want to give a shout out to another podcast that I am deeply involved with, and that's the Doctor Who Target Book Club podcast hosted by Tony Whitt. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. I was recently a guest for the episodes where they talk about the Mind of Evil and the Day of the Daleks. And as of now, I am a guest for the live taping at Chicago TARDIS. They do a room party after hours for the review of the Three Doctors. The actual podcast is based on going through the Target books in story order, which is a monumental task because the books were not written in story order. In fact, we read Day of the Daleks, and The Curse of Peladon was written later, and then the next book was written much later, either earlier or later, kind of depending on when the book was published. Our theme song is Who's Doctor Who by Barry Mason and Les Reed, performed by Fraser Hines, who played Jamie McCrimmon in over 113 Doctor Who episodes, making him the longest character to ever travel with the Doctor. And you can meet him at Chicago TARDIS. consider becoming a friend of the podcast. Publishing a podcast does cost a little more than time. So I'm wondering if you could help us out with a $5 a month subscription. You can do it two ways. You can view us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. And you could also find us on Podbean at podbean.com, and you can support us there as well. You can also hear this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Podbean. We're also a proud member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance, and you can hear other great Doctor Who podcasts at drwhopodcastalliance.org.
Sad, really, isn't it? People spend all their time making nice things, and other people come along and break them.
Collection protection. I wanted to point out that many of the collectibles regarding toys, and people are looking for containers or covers or cases to store their figurines. I'm still doing a lot of research into that area. My usual bit on Bags Unlimited does not really carry anything that meets that need. So I'm looking into several places that protect toys, toy collectors. If you're listening to the podcast, send us an email at drwhocollectorspodcast@gmail.com. and let us know what is out there. If you have any collection protection stories, please write to us on Facebook or Twitter at Doctor Who Collectors Podcast, or you can email us at drwhocollectorspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to read your emails on the podcast, so send us your emails, and we'd be more than happy to read them here.
Money? My dear chap, I don't want money. I've got no use for the stuff.
On to the maid story. Odds and Ends, Part 1 of probably a multi-part series. I'll introduce these here and there, but there are items that have been sent to me, have been brought to my attention, shared with me, or I found them independently, accidentally, that don't have anything to do with the series or anything to do with a collection, but they're odd items that appear with the Doctor Who logo. Some are official, some are not. If you're a real stickler about the official stuff, check the labels on everything. Sometimes the official wear is actually better quality than some of the knockoffs. So what I'm saying here, some of the things that I'm finding that I'm going to talk about today are all official. So we're going to start with the Doctor Who Police Box Pull to Open Lounge Pants. No pun intended. If you're a fan of the BBC classic Doctor Who, these lounge pants are inspired by TARDIS, his time travel machine, in this great sci-fi show, and are classic Doctor Who blue. These ultra-soft, 100% cotton knit pants have the phrase, "pull to open," tossed in with police box. They have pockets and an elastic waistband, as well as a button fly. Machine wash, easy care for $25. You can see a picture of these on our website and also on Facebook or Twitter. I do not know if these are official. I couldn't find that out. If you own a pair or you know something about it, give us a shout out. Next on the list today, we have Doctor Who, the TARDIS cufflinks. And they're navy, made out of rhodium-coated brass, approximately 2.3 centimeters by 1 centimeter. Beautiful leatherette box included. And basically, I think these are found on, you'll find this one on Etsy. I don't have the exact link here, but they were listing for $48 for these TARDIS cufflinks. So check those out. There's pictures of those on our page as well. The next odd item that we have here is the TARDIS Chameleon Edition Doctor Who car emblem, chrome plastic, not a decal or a sticker. You know that the back of your car, there'll be an emblem for, the model of your car. If it's, an Acadia or a Pinto or whatever you're driving, this is made like that. And it actually says TARDIS on it, and it's from Etsy. The username is Dark Star Lab, and the description is: need more time for running errands? No problem when you are a Time Lord. Black plastic emblem chrome raised lettering, measures 1.25 by 6 inches, full die cut back adhesive to stick to the back of your car. So you can make your car look cool with this TARDIS Chameleon Edition Doctor Who car emblem. Next on our list is with car related, by the way, the steering wheel cover from Doctor Who. And add some personality to your car or truck. Every auto needs a great accessory, and this is it. Love the designer look of this steering wheel. So it's a Doctor Who themed with pictures of the TARDIS and various Doctor Who items. You can see the picture on our website, and it's from Etsy. It's $19.95 from Joyride Covers. You can find the TARDIS. And by the way, none of these Etsy users sent these to me. These were sent by fans and other people. So they are not official sponsors or trying to plug their products. Also, I do not back the quality of these products. I haven't purchased any of them yet myself to take a look for myself. I try to do that when I can. This month was a little bit tough to get all this in, but if you do buy one and you have a negative or positive story about anything we talk about, share it with us. We'd like to inform and educate as well as entertain. So the next thing, of course, I always think of the episode The Crotons, when the Crotons are saying, put on the headsets. Well, you can with the TARDIS Doctor Who headphones. They cost $50.40, and with these headsets, you can enjoy your favorite show and its soundtrack. Take away the headphones of your favorite series with this unique and wonderful design. Warning, these headphones are apt for traveling in the TARDIS, made in Spain. The Doctor Who Galaxy Clear Lens prescription glasses, unique gift for your girlfriend or boyfriend, birthday gift for him or her, with a Whovian Space TARDIS style that can be personalized. So you can get your name on these. $49.26. Could be a little bit higher. Depends on what you put on there. I guess they charge for the inscription. Again, I have no idea about the quality of these glasses, and I'm guessing they're probably not official. So those are the five odds. Those are the first five odds and ends. And I'm going to throw in one that I do actually have. I have a Dalek pencil from 1965. It is a pencil, copyright. I have it in the original packaging, and there's a picture on the website. It's a little yellowed, but it has Daleks and a couple of Dalek figures, and it says Doctor Who, copyright BBC on the pencil. The pencil has never been used. Does not have an eraser. My guess is this pencil is probably worth, I'm trying to think, I don't remember what I paid for the pencil, but today I think I found somebody selling one for approximately $200. That's a pretty interesting item, especially in the packaging, or at least in the original, with the original package here. So very interesting stuff. So those are the odds and ends. If you know of a Doctor Who item that doesn't quite fit it's not a Target book, it's not a new adventure, it's not a figurine, but it's something completely different, let us know at at Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. I've got Chicago TARDIS on my brain. So that is our main story. And now it's time for the most outrageous offer. Again, the award for the most outrageous offer. And we determine the most outrageous offer for a Doctor Who item that is not necessarily rare or hard to find. So in other words, you can find them out there for much lower prices. And this seller has decided to put a granddaddy of a price tag on there. And I get these, either I find them or they get sent to me saying, hey, how's this for an outrageous offer? And I love that. I will say here, what I have, the most outrageous offer of the week, is a Doctor Who 2017 calendar. Features Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, and David Tennant on the cover, along with the Weeping Angels, the Daleks, and the Cybermen. And definitely out of print at this point, but I was able to locate a few more. Any case, the calendar is being sold by, let's see, the bookseller here is Irish booksellers from Portland, looks like Portland, Maine. Wow. So they're the Irish booksellers from Portland, Maine. And they have a copy of this in used acceptable condition. So it means it's probably been well through. And the price, here we go. By the way, the shipping price is $4.77, but you got to add that to the grand total of $3,452.51 for this calendar. That's outrageous. Other items, by the way, I found one new from $20.84. So this is a little bit ridiculous. Come on, it's a 2017 calendar. They didn't start making Doctor Who calendars that early, but to pay $3,452.51, I think it was just as bad as the last one, which was quite crazy. But for the price of a, I don't know. I don't think I would spend $3,452.51 on a 2017 calendar that I can buy for $20.84. So that's the most outrageous offer. Wow. And so, if you see an item that seems a bit too high for the price, please let us know on our Facebook page at Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. And if you have a photo, that's even better. And if you know the name of the seller, that's even better too. If the seller's listening, you might want to lower your price. That seems a bit crazy. So anyway, that is our show. It's a brief one, but hey, we want to keep this show going. Taking us out today, we're going to play a rare gem of a recording. It's available on YouTube and all that stuff, but the 45 itself is actually pretty rare. It is not an official Doctor Who recording. It is a band called the Earthlings, and they did a record called Landing of the Daleks. It is rare because the BBC banned the record because the track contains actual Morse code. So when you listen to the recording on the outro here, you'll hear actual beeps. That is actual Morse code. And I guess if you're a Morse code person out there who understands it or knows how to listen for it, you can actually decipher the message. I don't know what the message is. I did not find that in my research. But we're going to play Landing of the Daleks by the Earthlings. And so don't forget our live show at Chicago TARDIS. I will let you know the exact day and time when I have it, but I was confirmed today with the programming director that it will happen. So that's wonderful news. Keep our podcast on your playlist and be sure to support us if you can. Until next time, keep collecting.